We should be live. What's up, guys? How's it going tonight? Can we get a 5-5 in the chat? Let us know that you can hear us. Make sure that we're actually live and my computer's not lying to me. Yeah.
What's up, guys?
Yeah, we're live. Okay, oh, my stupid ad. So, what's up, guys? How's it going? I know Saturday night is not our usual thing, but we've been trying to set up a date with Zen and Jayse for a while now, and our conflicting schedules wouldn't allow us to do it any other time than the weekend. So here we are. And there's plenty to talk about. We have tons to get into. I know we have this titled The Quantum Golden Age, and I'm not even exactly sure what that means. So we're going to break that down and we're going to break that down and see what that entails. All right. It sounds like people can hear us. But first thing is first, as you guys may know, all four of us are going to be speaking at the Great Family of Light gathering that actually Jayse and his wife Alexis are putting on. And we're gonna get into that a little bit and talk about the conference. And we're gonna turn it over to Jayse because obviously he can do a lot better job than I can since it's his conference.
Yeah. So, well, thanks for having us on, both you guys. I've been looking forward to this episode to get this group together because there's just so much wisdom and information from like both fields of research that I think really go together really well. And we're going to get a lot of like cool nuggets out of this video, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
And then the
Yeah.
fact, like you said, we're all speaking at Family of Light. So that's going to be upcoming in Sedona, Arizona, July 23rd to the 25th. You've probably heard about it a lot. We have a special sale going on just for you guys watching this episode right now. We just put it up on our website. It's going to be a big discount on pretty much all of the 3-day passes and the live stream. So if you've been on the fence about coming and, or you can't come and, you want to get the live stream, the live stream is normally $111 and both the normal and the crypto discount is on sale for $70. And then the 3-day passes that are normally $333 are going to be $270 just for this weekend, just for basically this video and for everyone watching here. And then the crypto discount on the 3-day pass is even lower. It's $199. So that's been like the cheapest pass so far out of all of this. $199 for 3 days is like an amazing deal.
That is amazing. Yeah.
Not only are we going to have like these amazing guys, but we're going to have Alara from 1 Foot in 5D. You guys know her. Kate Awakening. You guys know her. We're going to have Sedona locals, Rion and Alexander. A lot of people know them from kind of the cosmic galactic side of things. Troy Casey, certified health nut, is going to be speaking. I think he might even be bringing ice baths to do live at the event. I was at his house the other day and he was like, yeah, I might just bring a couple of like ice bath and we'll just jump out and go in the parking lot and do ice baths together. So
nice.
That might be a fun initiation for some people. But basically the theme for this event is based around the cultivation and activation of our mind, body, and spirit. So it's taking a lot of different wisdom and research and personal experiences from a lot of different people and a lot of different areas of the awakening experience, which I think is really cool. It's not, the same kind of crowd that you tend to see at the same events consistently. It's like new faces for a lot of people and new information. So that's really cool, I think. And then we're breaking it down into mind, body, and spirit. So each day is one of those themes, basically. So mind is going to be Friday. And that's when Tyler and Aaron will be speaking and when Kate and Alara will be speaking. And that's kind of the mental red pill disclosure awakening kind of day. And then we're going to have a conscious hip hop artist that night. And then Saturday night or Saturday day, we're doing spirit. And that's speakers focused on our connection to the galactics and spirit and bringing in that cosmic energy. And Saturday night, we're having a tribal dance party, tribal techno, spacey dance party, which is going to be super fun. I'm going to partially DJ that. And then Sunday, we're going to have the body speaker. So that's when Troy will be speaking. That's when Zach will be speaking. We're going to have Sexual Kung Fu, who some of the people watching here might know. He's like in our same kind of age range and super focused and blowing up on YouTube around the particularly men's health and like topics like semen retention and cultivating your that divine energy to like really harness it for powers of manifestation and things like that. So yeah, and then Sunday night we're gonna have or Saturday as well, we're gonna have Xavier Hawk, and then Sunday night we're gonna have Xavier Hawk, who is kind of a new face to a lot of the disclosure community. He's doing these short tidbits called Baseline across different social medias, and it's like a 3-minute kind of morning segment daily thing, and he goes over crypto, space, weather, and then like all the disclosure stories. And then of course Alexis, my wife, will be speaking about space, weather, and the Schumann resonance and its effect on our consciousness. And then we're gonna have vendors, and we're gonna have food, and it's all in the middle of the beautiful Red Rocks, like behind me in Sedona. And it's going to be such an activation, and I'm just so stoked for everyone. Stoked to see you guys and like everybody together, and new faces together. Is going to be so cool.
Yeah,
man, I can't wait.
It's going to be exciting. Like you said, the new faces, the young blood getting in there. We need some a fresh look at this, a new perspective. Some of these conferences, they're awesome to get together, but we get the same speakers over and over. So that's what I'm excited about. I don't even know half of the speakers there. So I'm going to be learning a lot. It's going to be awesome. And no, we are not going to be speaking on losing your mind, Becky Lou. She asked if we're going to be speaking on losing your mind.
But yeah, I wanted to ask a quick question to the chat. If I want to know who's heard of XRP before and who's brand new to this subject. So if you haven't heard of XRP, please let me know, because I'm actually going to be sending out some free XRP to some people in the live chat tonight. So
I better.
If you haven't heard of XRP, I might send you some.
Chat? Yeah.
I'm going to jump in the chat right now.
I got to get on this.
If you haven't heard of XRP before, I might send you some. And also, if you're just super active tonight, if you're pumping it up, we're actually competing. Trump is live right now, so a lot of people are watching Trump right now. So we got to get active. We need everybody to pump the chat, and I'm going to send some XRP to some of you. So make sure to make yourself heard. I'm going to be watching the chat. But yeah, I'm going to be a family of light too. Really excited to shake your guys' hands and be a part of this episode.
Yeah, thank you. And for those who don't know who you are, because I didn't even do an intro, because we've had Jayse on like 5 times, so everybody knows who Jayse is. But I didn't.
Jayse is a regular.
I didn't properly introduce you, and I think at this point I'll just let you let people know what you do and why you're here, and we can get into this.
Cool. Yeah. Well, I started this whole journey making content a while ago, but basically recovering the whole new financial reset. That's basically my niche in all this. And it ties into a bunch of other subjects. I talk about it all, like current events, politics. You guys are very familiar with disclosure. So, I mean, XRP would be the perfect intergalactic currency, and we could get into that later on. But yeah, so we've been doing this for a long time, and basically the whole purpose of my channels is to help people get resources to succeed and to create abundance, prosperity, so they could become free and enjoy this new transition to the golden age, we call it. There's been a lot of astrological shifts, and that prove that we're entering a better time period on this, whatever you want to call it. And people that have been following our channel are becoming really abundant, and they're becoming really successful, and they're learning a lot about the chosen cryptos that are going to be part of the quantum financial system. A lot of people, especially patriots, when they hear about cryptocurrency, they get a little like nervous. Wouldn't you say? Like they're kind of turned off to it.
Yeah,
definitely.
Well,
yeah,
all of us included.
I used to be one of those.
Same.
I was turned off for a long time.
And the interesting thing about it, I was just having a conversation with somebody, and they were talking to me about the Bill Gates 666 patent, and then how they're trying to use the human body to mine crypto. And then they sent me an article of a startup company that literally has like a mock-up bed where you lay on and it harvests human body heat in order to mine crypto. And it's like a real thing. So they're trying to promote crypto. Like, obviously this isn't what we want. So we have the opposing force out there, and you have guys like Ivan Teller saying that crypto is literally is a spiritual war going on in its own consciousness, like the blockchain consciousness. There's a spiritual war going on there, and some of these coins are actually having nefarious forces behind them, and then some coins actually have benevolent forces behind them, and it's really interesting. It's really interesting if you break it down like that, because it's not just black and white. It's not that simple. There's actually a war going on behind the scenes, just like with Q, we never knew what to expect. And just when we thought something was going to happen, it didn't. We're seeing the same thing right now with crypto, because it's an actual war. And I think, and there's a lot of, you guys get into the esoteric side of it a lot, and the galactic and how it's going to tie in with the ascension and the awakening. So yeah, there's a lot to unpack here.
Yeah, I know people in the chat right now, there's a lot of people saying, what is XRP? XRP, like, please explain. So maybe Zach, this would be a good time to kind of give an intro on that and kind of explain some more in detail of like the stuff Tyler was talking about.
You want me to just go all the way to the super basics? Let me know. I'll go super basic.
Yeah. How much time do we have?
Yeah. Well, you can, I mean, just,
I'm gonna start with the problem. So people have to understand what the problem is to understand why there needs to be a solution. So the problem is, you wouldn't believe, in 2021 to send money from here to Australia, it would be faster to pack it in a bag, get on a plane, fly it there, and hand deliver it. It takes days.
Mm-hmm.
It takes like at least 4 days to send money cross borders. And they're going to charge you a tax. So they're taxing you a fee to do that. Who's making that money? I would tell you, the cabal banking system. So in order to really have a great awakening, we have to stop feeding them. We have to find a way to eliminate that tax. Okay, so that's the problem. Also, the technology is just really crappy. Like, to send money from here to Australia, there's like a 6% fail rate. So a lot of times, 6% of the payments, they just won't get to them. And then also, there's no like receipt. Like, you know how you guys, when you send payments, you get like an email confirmation that it's sent.
Mhm.
There is no, so you don't even know if the people get it. You have to call them and ask. So it's super inefficient. It was built in the 70s. So that's one of the problems. Also, one of the problems that you guys would recognize is, have you noticed that a lot of the payment systems that we use don't really interoperate, is the word. So like, if you ever like go out to eat and ask a friend to borrow some money and you want to pay them back, and the person has Cash App, right? And then you have PayPal. You literally have to download Cash App just to be able to send that person money. So one of the things about XRP is it's going to make all these different payment systems in the world interoperate, so that way everything's smooth and efficient, and everything works seamlessly, just like how emails work. So if you notice, like in emails, Yahoo, you could send to AOL, you could send to Gmail, they all work seamlessly.
Mhm.
they're interchangeable.
Yeah, that's basically the technology that XRP is helping the banking system do.
Mhm.
There's so much more. Jayse, you want to get more into like the like how it's basically you're actually holding a real unit of account instead of like a debt note too. Like, you're holding real value instead of
Yeah.
Now, are you just being like XRP specific right now, or other coins going to be able to do what you're saying also?
Well, the reason the technology that I'm referring to is the Interledger protocol, and that was built by basically Ripple's team. And the core asset of the Interledger protocol that's solving this problem for the world uses XRP to settle payments. So basically, if I had a whiteboard, what would happen is, it's like XRP is the bridge. So you have the US dollar, and then you have the Chinese, right? And then what happens is the US dollar turns into XRP, instantly transfers into, using the algorithm, into Chinese instantly. So that it just like seamlessly, XRP is the bridge currency.
Mhm.
It bridges the gap between two. I wish I had a whiteboard to show you guys, but am I making sense?
Yeah, you are.
Okay.
And I would say, like, to kind of add on to that, what makes XRP special over other coins that can settle maybe nearly as fast, because there are other projects out there which settle in 10 20 seconds or so, but what I feel like really distinguishes it is the people who were behind it and where it was likely actually made, which was likely at the NSA, in my opinion. And that's kind of my source on that is that the guy who pioneered, David Schwartz, who I lovingly call a space Sasquatch, because he looks like a Sasquatch alien from space in the best way.
He's a time traveler.
Totally does.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
a great
he
name.
worked, he was like a libertarian and worked for, you know, pretty middle ground politically. And he worked for the NSA back in the 90s and early 2000s. And he had put a patent forward for a distributed ledger technology, which is essentially what blockchain technology and XRP are now. But this was, you know, way before Bitcoin, which came out in 2010, right?
Yeah.
So this was you know, something that was coming out of the NSA. And if we kind of connect that to like other things connected to the NSA, like 17 and like kind of, you know, Space Force type stuff, to me, it shows the building blocks for how all those are connected. And so this company that Zach brought up, Ripple, if you guys aren't familiar with that, they are essentially the company that manages the majority of the XRP out there. And while XRP is a decentralized technology that can be used by anyone for anyone, Ripple basically provides these different central banks and international financial institutions with extra basically products and services that allow them to use XRP in a more quantum and kind of advanced way. And so, for instance, like one of the things that I'm pretty sure they provide as a service is that you don't, these banks and these other institutions that they're trying to get on the XRP ledger, they don't need to actually own large amounts of XRP. They can go through a certain service that Ripple provides that allows them to swap into it, which is where we get this bridge asset idea, where it's not like XRP is like Bitcoin, where it's like the one project that is the best and it's going to do everything, right? That's kind of the cabal timeline of crypto. They want one, maybe two, three, four coins that do everything for the most part.
That they control also.
Just
they
just
control.
like,
So it's also
So-
beyond that. It's beyond money. So like if you want to pay your groceries with your Tesla stock, the Interledger protocol makes that possible. If you want to, you have an NFT that's worth the value. You could use the Interledger protocol to buy a car with. Like it'll make anything of value. It makes anything of value being able to be used anytime. So that's the real beauty of it. It totally prevents the one world currency, and that's the whole purpose of XRP when it got taken over by the white. I believe it was actually always a white hat plan. If you like what Jayse
I
is
think
saying.
so.
well, I
think
do
so too.
I do have a question in that regards. A while, not that long ago, it came out that XRP was created at the same IP address as Bitcoin. Am I mistaken, or is that the case?
That's not really 100% verified. I mean, I go with it, but there's a whole other counter argument too, because like they got it off GoDaddy, and it's not 100% fact, but I just think Arizona just keeps popping up over and over again. It's like, how many more times do I see this coincidence?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was just
especially.
that was my own curiosity. I was wondering about that because I had seen that.
Because some people are saying, "Oh, that's proof that it's a cabal created thing because it was created and the same IP as Bitcoin." But I'm like, no.
But
So if you remember, the correct history of Bitcoin was actually, so the people made it, and then the CIA came into the picture, and then Satoshi disappeared once the CIA came into the picture. Satoshi vanished, and he started meeting with some of the other core Bitcoin people. So the CIA took it over at some point, and I believe that was the sting off. They wanted that to happen. They sold it. That was the best one. Basically, playing black in chess, you allow them to make the first move, where we make the second. We have the second mover's advantage to come back at the end and pull the plug. We know how they created it, so they know how to finish it. Basically.
So do you think Bitcoin was created as like a trap for the cabal? Like they created knowing the cabal was going to try to take over it. But
so
then
basically,
but then they create XRP.
The people that created Bitcoin end up creating the technology, the only technology in the world that could oversee it, which is Palantir. So they create Palantir to basically oversee all the transactions. And Mr. Poole just exposed them the other day that we have the transaction of the January 6th riots. They paid them in Bitcoin. So they believe they're using this centralist proof thing, and they didn't know that we had Palantir behind closed doors.
About it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So they thought they had this thing. So the real value in Bitcoin right now, why the value is so much, is in those original transactions on the Silk Road. Whoever has that data is worth so much money because it leads to the biggest crime lords in the entire planet. So if you remember the whole story, that it's they bought it with pizza.
Yeah.
Well, what do we know what pizza means? Like it's in your face. You know the purpose of it, but they thought they were outsmarted us, but we actually have all that data via Palantir. And if you notice, George Soros dumped it. Who was promoting Bitcoin in El Salvador and over there? George Soros. And George Soros dumped all of Palantir stock. So
yeah, that was crazy when that was recently, right? In the past year or so.
Yeah, a few years back.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
we
It's like,
got
why would-
control. Yeah.
Why would
we
he
got
dump all of his Palantir stock unless, he found out something about it?
One more really important thing that everyone has to understand, because a lot of people think that Bitcoin is the patriot coin. So Bitcoin and Ethereum is dominated out of China. So a lot of that's all the mining is all controlled out of China. So they really run it. XRP is the leading company that's based out of America. USA Technology. And does your supporters like Trump?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What do you say? It broke up for a second.
Oh yeah, I didn't hear the question.
Do you guys does your supporters like Trump?
Oh yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Sorry.
That's what I thought you asked.
Awkward.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Oh, I hope
yes.
we
Most of them. Most of them.
I hope they do.
We are, and most of our audience definitely is.
Because I get in so many arguments for a long time when I started promoting, just talking about XRP, and they think Trump's anti-XRP. A lot of people don't know that he actually signed an executive order 13772 with Ripple, and they're part of it, as well as a few of their partners, Accenture, R3, and Trump signed that off. And the first thing that Biden did when he got into office was revoke that. That was one of the first things he did, was revoke that, because that was the bill that was going to create a level playing field, pardon Missouri. So that's a big thing. Also, one of the last things that he did was he pardoned one of Trump's board members. His name was Ken Kurson, friends with Jared Kushner. Trump pardoned him.
He was a Ripple board member.
Yeah, he was a Ripple board member. So like Trump has connections. He was about to put Judy Shelton in as a Fed Reserve, and she says she wants to bring the gold standard back in a cryptocurrency way. Super close buddy with Ripple. A lot of the people he put in the office of the currency was a Ripple, former Ripple employee. His name was Brian Brooks. He put him in charge of the currency office for the U.S. government. So he also, Brad Garlinghouse met with the Trump administration a few times. If you're familiar with 17, Ripple donated $170,000 to Trump's administration. So there's so much evidence. I could go on and on, but I want to make everyone assured, because if you really read carefully in between the lines of Trump's tweet, he says unregulated cryptocurrencies are worth nothing. Really clear. He goes unregulated cryptocurrencies, and right now Ripple, it's all a hoax. It's a big freaking joke.
The lawsuit, the SEC,
lawsuit is going to make XRP the first regulated cryptocurrency, and that's
the only one. It's going to be the only one with regulatory clarity once it's done.
So according to Trump, the one that is has regulatory clarity, if you really read that tweet, means that one will have value. So that's something really important, just so you guys feel safe that you're supporting something that's actually behind, like Trump's behind.
Yeah, well, that's important to bring up. And some of the Jayse, you've broken down some of like the Flare Network trailers and stuff that have tons of connections with 17 and even JFK and Trump and
his name is in it.
Secret space program. I mean, all kinds of stuff. It's really, I mean, this is like very multi-layered, why would they be tying this? Why would they be showing, like, hinting at the secret space program if they weren't trying to tell you, like, somehow this is like more of a, I don't know, galactic thing. I don't know how else to look at it, but it's bigger than what probably most people even can comprehend right now.
And if people watching don't know what we're talking about with that, just YouTube search Flare Finance trailer, and the main one, watch that one. And it's basically a trailer for this network called Flare, which we've been talking about, which is really going to revolutionize, like XRP is, we talk about XRP being so great, but it's only serves one use case, right? It's like we said, it's not the one coin to do everything. It's not like it's going to be like, we're not going to be paying for things, everyone in XRP. But with the Flare network, it's really catered to being for everyone. And the way they're doing that is they're bringing on compatibility with all these other crypto projects. So like XRP, XLM, Doge even, which connects to the whole Elon Musk Doge thing and Elon pushing Doge and trashing Bitcoin now. And to me, that's all a scripted thing. And so with this Flare trailer, they basically show us in the space program with futuristic, SSP type technology, going through wormholes, going to other planets. And the whole thing is running on Flare and XRP on the data network side of things. And so it kind of gives a contextual hint for how these blockchain applications go far beyond just finances and just like, the banking systems and the economic systems. It's like they're going to be used to connect networks of essentially cloud data and move information around that isn't necessarily financial in value, but holds value as information.
Mm-hmm. That was a beautiful explanation, Jayse.
Yes, that was amazing.
Just kind of came out.
Yeah. Well, it's clear that we have whatever our financial system is now and the fiat currency, that's all going away. It's clear.
I don't even know if fiat is like completely going to go away, but I think it is going to be less powerful than it was before. Like even Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO at Ripple, was said that he doesn't see cash being any different in the next 5 years, but maybe 6 or 7 years. Who knows? Maybe we will go to a different thing. But I still see, one of the other things I wanted to bring up was I see XRP and these other ISO 22 interledger protocol coins as enhancing the dollar and enhancing physical assets, precious metals. And that's, I know that's a big concern for a lot of people who are new to crypto, is like, aren't we moving into a digital system and getting away from the physical tangible value? And if you're on the Cabal timeline and those coins, then yeah. But on the positive timeline, these coins will actually enhance your ability to, say, send gold around the world or send, normal fiat money to people. And in that respect, that's where Trump is going to really, I think, see this as a positive thing, because he's still all about the dollar, right? And if this can enhance the dollar, he's got a really big reason to be a public supporter of it.
Yeah, it was my understanding that essentially XRP will be like digital gold. So it'll be like a digital representation of gold. So instead of like us having to carry around gold and trying to, it's very hard to, it's good for store of value, but as far as like a practical thing to,
you're still gonna have people wearing gold bars around their neck.
Well, yeah, in gold coins, I'm sure. But I mean, you can be like, okay, this 1 XRP represents 1 ounce of gold or whatever, and then it's like a digital, and then maybe XLM, I've heard it would be like silver, or whatever ends up being. That to me makes a lot of sense. Like if that's
and they may end up making it like, we may, actually get those pegged to the actual value of the asset. I think more likely it won't be, completely backed by it, but it'll be more like every crypto that makes it through the white hat regulation will in one form or another be backed by precious metals. Maybe not like pegged 1-to-1, but
not necessarily like that, but
but there will like always, it'll be really easy to liquidate your crypto into precious metals and other physical assets.
Well,
on the esoteric side of these cryptos that are chosen, that are going to be around for the next 100 years, is the people that are creating them, they're very spiritual and very esoteric. So, I mean, what is gold and silver really? It's really the sun and the moon.
Yeah.
So basically what they're doing with XRP and XLM is, XRP is the sun, the king crypto, XLM, the moon. And it's definitely, if you look on R3's website with XRP, they have a whole plan to digitize, tokenize gold and silver. It's all, you can find documents on it. So it's for real, but it's going to be so much more. So this is what quantum means. It's not just one thing. It's fifth dimensional technology. It's everything. It's also going to be your real estate. It's also going to be your NFTs. It's also going to be your music. It's going to be everything. It's going to be the voting systems. That's why Mr. Poole and all these people are telling people buy XRP, because it's also sensor proof. So you're literally holding like the engine of the whole financial system. So it's super powerful. It's beyond we could really even comprehend right now.
So I'm going to take it a step further. And I know that eventually, if we like, let's just say ascend to 5D and get there, there won't be a monetary system. That's the end goal, is to do away with one entirely. That's how the ET races do it. That's how they even do it in the space program. It's all barter and trade. There's nothing like, if anything, like DNA is the currency. They're after our DNA, but it can be done without it. And we've heard a lot of people say that cryptocurrency is just going to be that transition until either we get our regular dollar backed by gold, or until the money just eventually goes away.
You're 100% correct. 100%. So that's why it's important for us to get this message out, because there's actually a feature on the ledger. Jayse, you heard about this? People get intimidated with this because they call it a social credit system right now. But this is basically, we're able to create whatever we want. And let's say in the future, a hug is worth something, or helping your friend move is worth something. And we could make that a value on this feature on the ledger. Nobody's really played with it, but this is the feature that Arthur Brito created this. So it's not what you think. It's actually just like a new form of currency that we could create as a society, like a conscious currency. Like, I don't even know what we could do, but it's up to our imagination. But that's what it's going to take years to transition to that, but it's possible with the XRP ledger.
Yeah. It's not right around the corner, but in a sense it is, depending on, how high of a perspective you're looking at it from. But because we're at the end of this 25,000 year cycle or whatever. The whole planet, like Mother Earth, is shifting from 3D to 5D herself. So in the grand scheme of things, it's just right around the corner. But for us, it's still going to seem like it's pretty far out into the future.
Yeah. So to add on to that, I see a couple different timeline possibilities playing out with the whole solar flash quantum evolution event, and in its relation to like technology and particularly blockchain. And I think that on one side of things, we could see like what you're talking about, which is a total kind of reset of technology in general, because the solar flash is actually so powerful that it does completely wipe out tech. And if that is the moment that we go through that quantum DNA shift, I could see it being very possible where we do start in a very like feminine Lemurian kind of civilization that doesn't have advanced tech. But on the flip side of things, I keep being shown an alternate timeline, which is still just as, positive, but it's one where we do keep a certain amount of the tech that we have post shift. And I don't know if this is actually like something that could actually work, or if the military is just trying to do this to basically do their, the white hat military, to basically do their best to preserve what they think the best timeline is. Because I get the sense that they're doing that on their side of things, like, with anticipating solar flash type stuff. But I think that we could actually have a timeline where some of these technologies that are more in resonant with the new Earth frequencies could stick around. And as maybe an analogy, like if you look at how a lot of Pleiadian groups are depicted, they still use a fair amount of technology, right? It's just more in alignment with their bioharmonics and their frequencies and their planet and star system frequencies. It's not like throwing us off into this crazy misaligned state, right?
So more like Tesla kind of level stuff, and crystal based technology and stuff like that too. Yeah.
So I feel like on that kind of note, that there is a quantum system being set up with the intention to make it through the flash. And I think that's connected to Starlink and these different blockchain nodes that are based in space, and this quantum internet system that is on standby if and when the cabal completely drives the current internet system into the ground. I think we have this like basically backup one that's going to be noded into space that will allow us to be basically free aside from the cabal controlled internet. So if that's going to make it through the flash, I don't know, but I could see it potentially, but I could also see it not.
Yeah, there's so many things that have to happen before that happens. Really, we have a lot of cleanup to do still, and that's what's happening right now. But I don't think you're wrong. I was just watching an interview today on Third Eye Salon. I don't know if you guys have heard of that YouTube channel. And they had Sue Walker. Do you guys know her? She channels the Ponte ETs.
No. Oh, I
Anyway,
think I've heard of Ponte. I think maybe you
yeah,
do. That.
I probably have. Yeah. Um, since I became aware of them, I've had actually two experiences with them in the dream state or in the astral. But anyway,
Interesting.
so what she does is she'll either channel messages or she'll even paint images that they give her, and she'll paint them. And one of them was a solar sneeze, she calls it. And it was the ET had a very concerned look on his face, and there was a little black dot in front of the sun. And she said that black dot is like a world planet-sized sphere technology that's been there for longer than we even know. What's been used for longer than we even know by different star nations and stuff. And it's been brought from galaxy to galaxy to absorb solar flares whenever the sun is reaching its peak. So what the image showed was this, and she said there's actual photos of solar flares that you'll see a black dot. Nobody knows what it is. She goes, that's what it is. That black dot is actually a piece of technology that's absorbing the magnetic field before it hits Earth. It's been there forever. But in the picture she depicted, there was two that happened simultaneously, and the sphere was only able to absorb one of them, and one of them makes it to Earth. And the ET had a concerned look in the picture. And so she said she doesn't know what this means, but it appears from the image they gave her that one's going to make it past this, and that might be
That might be the solar
that
flash.
might be the solar flash. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting stuff to me. Take it with a grain of salt, right?
Did we bring up the solar flare yet today on this live? I know we did before we went live.
Not on this live.
I mean, you just did briefly.
You just now did.
well, like that. Yeah. So today there was the largest X-class solar flare since 2017, and X-class solar flares are the largest class of solar flare out there. And then it was immediate, and that was at like 5 Pacific time this morning, 5 a.m. Mm-hmm. And then immediately followed by an M class, which is like the second most powerful. So things are definitely amping up. And it just keeps reminding me of that session that Allison Coe spoke on recently about the flash of light in this session that occurred to the subject, and then basically it pushed everybody to the ground, and they were having to go around and like help people and relax people because the light energy was just so intense. So I feel like we're getting there. It feels more intense every day in a way.
It does. I feel it's coming soon, something like that.
One other thing, while I'm on this interview still, and it's somewhat relevant, this whole UFO disclosure we're getting right now. She was talking about I had to write it down. I forgot the Desert Accord Treaty of 1971. Where is it at? I have it written down. So it's a 1971 Desert Accord Treaty that prohibits ETs from providing humanity with technology, photos, and videos of themselves, like disclosing themselves to us. And allegedly, it's a 50-year treaty that was signed in 71, and in August of this year, it ends. And the group that she's been talking with say that that's like the green light for anybody who's been waiting and wanting to contact us can do it. And she's expecting something later this year. Timelines are whatever. And she even gives her example of how she thinks it's going to look. But
it's interesting you say green light, because that's kind of a big theme in the Mr. Pool XRP group, which Zach, you should, if you want to explain a little more. I was thinking not only Mr. Pool and like how that connects to 17 stuff, since you're really versed on that, but Palantir and Peter Thiel, and like who Palantir is and how that's connected to Looking Glass potentially, and like Trump and all that stuff.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah, just to piggyback on what you were talking about with people that could possibly want to contact us. That's basically what they've been building over there at CERN. If you look up, follow the White Rabbit, it goes directly to CERN. But yeah, Mr. Pool is this Twitter account, and he posts cryptic messages. And a lot of times he'll post something, and then a few days later, either the news will use the exact same photo that Mr. Pool has, or one of the big events that happened this year was he posted a picture of Auckland. What is it, New Zealand?
New Zealand, yeah.
Yeah.
Auckland, New Zealand, with a countdown, and then at the end of the countdown, a few days later, there was a big earthquake there. So some people say, is this a time traveler? Some people say, is this quantum AI, or is this connected to Palantir? But basically, if you go to the 17 post, it says follow the loop. You look, and then you go think mirror, follow pull, and a lot of the messages are about XRP. They're also about the return of 45. It's about justice, and it's also about golden age and human enlightenment, and us entering this new world. So Mr. Pool is amazing. I really trust it. He's helped us make a lot of money too, because one of the cool things he just did was he posted the Zenfin logo. And if you've been studying Mr. Pool, you know, okay, whenever he posts that, you know XDC is going to go on a run. So we posted it. We let all of our audience know, okay, XDC is going to be a move. And everybody that invested it when Mr. Pool suggested made 100% gains that week. So, and he's done this multiple times. So there's also speculation that this is literally David Schwartz. So David Schwartz is under all these non-disclosure agreements, and he wants the people to know. He wants us to know this information. So he makes these like artificial intelligent Twitter accounts, bots, basically. He makes these bots, but then feed the bots what to post, so that way no one could track it back to it. It's an artificial bot that's posting it, so you can't track it back to David Schwartz.
Genius.
So that's what some people speculate. There's lots of rumors. Some people say it's Barron Trump. I believe it's David Schwartz, or I mean, I don't know, man. It's pretty intense, but he's proven himself over and over again. And Jayse, what do you have to say about Mr. Pool?
I was gonna say I feel like it's Schwartz too. Like every time I just like tap into it and picture who's behind it, I picture the space Sasquatch. and like there's
there's also Bearable Guy 123 too.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
The other one, yeah.
There's Bearable Guy, which is very similar in the way that they're like disclosing these drops and pieces of information, but Bearable Guy does it with this particular style of clip art, and it's all coded messages in the clip art. And one of the earliest pool posts was whoever's behind the pool page was creating the Bearable Guy clip art and had video of it, so you know for sure that they're connected. And then there's this other there's a lot of these kind of pages like this that are similar to 17, and I'm sure some are LARPs, but a lot of them seem very connected. And another one is called ArcElect, and ArcElect is actually officially an AI. Like there's a website in the bio, and it says that it's an image board AI project that just posts images that are relevant to the collective, basically. And so not only have Mr. Pool and ArcElect gone back and forth on posting similar themes within a couple days of each other, but Elon Musk is constantly liking ArcElect photos and occasionally retweeting them, which when I saw that was just like another connection with Elon and all this. And then go ahead, were you gonna say something?
Yeah, I was gonna say, because Bearable Guy 123 refers to XRP as the engine of the new financial system. So basically, like if you're new, there might not be that much time, because with Flare coming out, that's basically the spark. There's 17. You want to tell them about the 17 post too?
Yeah.
So like this is a good metaphor. So if you have a badass car with a badass engine, but you don't have no spark plugs, it's not going to go anywhere. So that's why XRP is stagnant in the price, because we're waiting for the Flare networks and the spark. So what Jayse is talking about with Flare is super significant, and they're probably made by white hats, the Flare Finance.
Yeah, but
and Flare Finance is officially like Anons too. They're all
they're Anons.
So you were going to relate the Q post to Spark, Jayse?
Yeah, I just pulled it up. So there's 3 Q posts that use the word spark, and 2 of them have it in a quote. And the 2 in quotes are post number 4204 and 4082, both from May of 2020. And the first one says, never in our history has this been attempted. Patriots worldwide simply needed a, quote, spark to reignite the engine for humanity, WWG1 WGA. And the other one says almost identically, patriotism on the rise. People needed a, quote, spark to reignite the engine. And so the fact that they, not only is it very identical contextually, but to put it in parentheses tells you that they're referring to something specific.
Yeah.
So seems connected. And
a lot of the 17 post, whatever, Q, I'll just say I'm tired of dancing around this stuff.
It's
there goes our channel.
Black.
It seems like a lot of the stuff, like,
well, it was a good run.
It might not even have been pointing to at the time it was posted, but it was pointing to a time in the future, and there's a lot of posts that correlate with stuff that's happening right now, even specific current events, and there's a lot of people still making these connections. So it's really interesting how all that works. We just have to, at some point, you can't like over invest in this stuff. You just have to like sit back and observe it all and watch it play out.
Well, Q's big on double meetings too. And he even says double meetings exist. So like those spark posts, on the surface, it sounds like he's just talking about the awakening or like us being, ignited to, but it's like, oh, he was also referring to
putting it in a quote makes it to me like super obvious that it's referring to
something very literal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I wonder how Trump's speech is going right now.
So I'll jump over there.
Yeah,
we'll narrate it.
Yeah.
So I know you guys broke down that Jayse and Aaron, you guys both broke down that oil spill today, which looks more like a deep state fatality pit.
It looks like a portal or
that was weird.
A vortex weird. Or something crazy.
Yeah, I said Gitmo's full, and that's where they're throwing everybody now into that pit.
The pit to hell.
Yeah. No, but there's a lot of things going on right now that seem to be distractions. That's my point. Like everything right now, and from what the audit, that's the one thing. Or like the same day Trump visits the border, Bill Cosby's let out and he posts a picture of himself eating a piece of pizza, like a big slap in your face,
Oh, I didn't even see that.
And we know what's funny about all this too is we've been all screaming from the mountaintops, disclosure, and then Britney Spears comes out, and that's what it took to get everybody to fight for disclosure.
Yeah,
it took Britney Spears. It took Britney Spears to start getting people to pay attention. But everything right now is like reaching this peak, and it more than anything, I think most of the stuff we're seeing is a distraction. For whatever reason, even though their plans aren't going to work. There's
the UFO disclosure that just happened.
Yeah,
nothing literally.
I compared it last night on the show with Foyle. I compared it to watching an episode of Roadrunner and Coyote. It's like watching a coyote try fail over and over and over again at every single trap that he sets up. It's exactly what we're watching right now on the main stage, the world stage.
Right? Totally. And I think the distractions go both ways too. I think that there's like white hat distractions that are intended to throw off the dark with what's going on in the world right now. And like Palantir being a big player in that, like who is it, Zach, that is the guy that was connected to Epstein that was supplying all the data from SingularityNet to Palantir. What was that guy's name?
Ben.
Yeah, Ben Goertz or something. So this guy, he basically is one of the head pioneering minds in AI, but actually in a way that, if you go watch this guy's interviews, he's a very like trippy, kind of hippie, acid head feeling kind of guy, and actually has pretty good vibes. But he's one of the like pioneering minds on creating certain kinds of AIs that are supposed to benefit humanity. And he was connected to Epstein and was, I guess, supplying them with software that they were using that was collecting all this data on them. So one of the things that Palantir was doing was basically kind of acting like a Trojan horse in a lot of these deep state groups and creating surveillance systems that were pulling in data on a lot of these crimes. And I think that that's one of the ways that a lot of this stuff will end up being exposed, maybe maybe just behind doors for some of it. Like 17 says, like, what is it, like did they say 20% will only ever make it to public and 80% is private? Yeah. So
do you either of you two know like a timeline on when we expect the Flare network to actually kick in? Or
it's supposed to be this month.
It could happen tomorrow.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah.
So it's really just like anyone's guess at this point, but it's speculated to be this month.
Yeah, it's supposed to be before quarter 3 starts, which I don't know what day that is, but the last date range they said was late June, early July.
Late June. What's interesting is General Flynn posted the other day that starting July 2nd, there was a lot between July 2nd.
He said 30 days. He said
30 days after.
Be a 30-day. How do you word it?
I don't know.
But
a lot's gonna
happening.
Expect a lot to happen within the 30 days after July 2nd. So I don't know what that means. What he's referring to. Most people are thinking it has to do with the election. We'll see.
Yeah, that's interesting. I feel like it's going to be a big month for the UFO disclosure stuff too, and the financial stuff. And I think a lot of things are going to really start, like, the water is starting to break through the dam, metaphorically.
Yeah.
And physically.
Well, it's already been done for a long time, like you're saying with Palantir. Like, we're literally watching Palantir's movie right now, and you mentioned General Flynn. He's connected to Palantir. A lot of these big people that are in this whole movement, Ron Paul and the Fed, as part of Palantir. Also, James O'Keefe with Project Veritas.
Mm-hmm.
He was part of. Peter Thiel helped fund him in the early days.
I forgot about that.
Also, there's one other people. So Harvey Weinstein, we know he's there's a post with him standing next to Maxwell, standing next to Epstein, and they had his name crossed out. Harvey Weinstein, we got him. We have it all because Palantir has all the data, and it was a Trojan horse. So Peter Thiel funded all of Harvey Weinstein's lawsuits. He funded the victims that had got raped by him. He paid for all their lawyer fees. So there's so much evidence that there's actually it turns a conspiracy theory into reality, because you're like, oh wow, there's actually a guy out here fighting for us. He also has multiple quotes calling Google treasonous, and his whole company started a war against Silicon Valley. Palantir left Silicon Valley. So there's so much evidence that there's actually a real company doing everything that 17Q talks about it, and it makes you feel a lot more confident and cozy in the plan. Like, yeah, we're super cozy because of that info in my world.
Yeah, I think
it's amazing.
Times at one point there when Biden was inaugurated, right? The morale kind of went down for a lot of people. A lot of people were just like so certain, even myself. I'm like, there's no way, like Trump's the guy, Yeah. But I think it was what had to happen. Everybody needed to realize that there's no external savior. What it did was it made everybody like, okay, like I need to get back to my life. I can't just so many people gave up though.
They were putting all their hope in, and also it's an expectation of how things. Everyone thought the only way this can play out is if Trump gets reelected. And when that didn't happen, they thought, oh my God, it's all over. Like none of this is real. They're winning. The cabal is winning.
Well, think about how much humanity has learned. We're literally in a real positive psyop where humanity's learning, wow, presidents are actually selected and they're not elected. So people are in a real life trial run of experiencing, wow, oh my gosh, it's right in front of my face. These people are selected. These conspiracy theorists have been right this whole time. So that's the whole point. They made it over the top. They could have chose anybody to be the left prime candidate. They chose the biggest dumbass that can't even finish a sentence.
Joe Biden.
For a purpose. It's all controlled. That's what Mr. Pohl says. All controlled. Yeah. Well, 17 also says fully controlled. It's all a fully controlled military op.
It's all a show.
To wake people up, and more people than ever. I've been a conspiracy theorist for years, and more people than ever are asking questions, waking up. So it's working, and I like it. So
Biden getting in actually did more good than a lot of people.
It did, and that's what's giving more people hope, and they're seeing that. They're seeing that actually waking people up. And then we're also seeing all the evidence that the military is actually the ones in control, not Biden at all.
Yeah.
Like, it's very clear to me, like you see sign after sign that the military is the ones in control.
Well, and then you have like
the country.
This one veteran like noticed that Biden was like apparently speaking to the military, but then he like rewound and he's like, look, none of these military have patches or badges or anything. He's like, these are might as well be Halloween costumes.
Rent a military.
Yeah. Rent a cop. Yeah, whatever.
Rent a soldier.
Rent a soldier.
Yeah. There you go.
And he was like, okay, he goes, I've been in the military for 20 years, blah, blah. He goes, it doesn't matter what rank you are. You're going to have something. These were all just blank uniforms.
Mm-hmm.
And there's just so many things. Like it is a movie. And, you know, we've touched on the topic or tossed around the idea that he might even be a clone. And from what I've learned about clones is that if the only person that can sign an executive order is the original body. So if a clone signs it, it doesn't mean anything. So if all that bullshit that Biden was signing, which they weren't even signatures, they didn't match the old Biden signatures, it was all phone anyway. But let's just pretend it was the clone signing it. That's all null and void anyway, and that's just part of the show. So him revoking whatever you were talking about earlier might not even have happened. Like it's just every one of those things might not have happened, but they can make it real when they put it in the news and they get people to believe that it happened. And we're already catching them using footage from years ago. Why did they need to do that? Because they don't have footage for the current event that they're lying to us about. Anyway, I'm done.
Well said.
Yeah.
Well said.
Preach.
When you guys come,
I have 100 XRP to send to one of your audience members. How do you want to? How should we do it?
Nice.
100 XRP.
There's a guy.
It's not much, but it's a good little start for somebody. Or we could
that'll be
50,
worth
50.
a ton someday. Yeah, when the price.
There's a guy that just said, "Pick me." He was the first one. Tyler. Yeah. No, I don't know. Well, first of all, I don't know who all has. I guess, guys, if you own any XRP already, put
I'm fine with giving it to someone that already, because they know how to use the wallet.
I was going to say,
that's what I'm saying. No, that's what I'm saying. So if you already own XRP, put an X in the chat so we know.
I saw a couple of people asking how do I buy XRP?
It might be hard. They don't know how to get the wallet info and everything.
And we can go into the basics of that for new people that want to buy, like where to buy. We can
uphold.
That.
While we're doing that,
uphold.
I'm going to take this opportunity really quick to promote the Hopewell Farm CBD. In particular, because Jayse is here, and Jayse is the best salesman for this stuff. We learned about Hopewell Farm through Jayse and Alexis and their podcast, and we ended up connecting with them, and now we're affiliated with them. And the CBD is truly amazing. And Jayse, you do a better job at describing it than I do. Why? And you smoke weed and I don't. So why is this good CBD?
Yeah, I smoke weed, and that's the only CBD that I've actually ever been able to feel like consciously. And it doesn't get you high, but it does make you feel the effect from it. You feel the body buzz.
Yeah, I do. I agree 100%.
It's so powerful.
And everything's done like organically. They grow all their own stuff. Nothing's shipped in. Everything it's literally homemade, you know. And then they have a unique process that's different. That's different than most people. There's no waste. They use everything.
The whole plant, whereas most CBD, it's like half of it gets wasted, right, or something like that.
Yeah. And I believe that they during the process of getting the concentrate. There's a loss of the cannabinoids, and I believe that they actually compensate and add in what would have been the loss, so that you're getting the actual full amount, rather than a lot of times it'll say 1,000 milligrams, but it'll only be like 800 because of the loss. So that's like really good on them.
So yeah, guys, if you are interested in that, we have 10% off with promo code Journey to Truth 10. And the link is below in the description. So go pick up some CBD if you're looking for something new to try. Okay, so we have some people in the chat saying X. We have Allison Kessler X. Zen God. No, you don't count.
And send it to himself.
Angelito, does that mean that you have XRP?
Angelito definitely has XRP.
Okay, so well, how should we?
Jayse.
Well, I know because he bought his Family of Light ticket with XRP.
Oh, nice.
How
He
should
was
we
the first
go?
one.
How should we go about
Nice.
doing this? Should we ask a trivia question?
Just
That's a
close
fun
your
idea.
eyes and just pick whatever your finger lands on, I guess.
It's a good way to do it.
I'm gonna pick Angelito. For the
Angelito, you have won. Congratulations.
simple
Yay,
fact
congrats.
I don't know how you typed your name like that.
Oh, the O and the E.
Yeah. How did you do that?
I don't know.
And the second person that emails me will get another prize. So if sending one to Angelito, email me your XRP address, and the second person to send me their XRP address, I will send you a prize too.
Texting you right now,
So,
Zach.
Better hurry up. First come, first serve.
Jayse is like,
So do they can you drop your email? Let people know your email.
I put my email if your admin could pin it.
Oh yeah.
The second person that emails me, I'll send them another prize.
Do you see it in here?
Oh, is it in the comment rather than the live chat?
It's in the live chat.
I don't see email either.
I don't either.
Maybe I need to type it in.
I'm typing it again.
Okay.
Yeah, type it in and I'll pin it. Anyway. So what we
I
were
still haven't got the email, so you guys still have time.
What's the email address? So guys, also, well, people want to know how to buy XRP. Somebody even asked what XRP stands for.
Extra rich people.
yep.
What does it?
Just kidding.
Well, RP is like Ripple,
and
and then X is, you can explain that.
Yeah,
Jayse.
maybe not. Like that's a theory some people put out there with the X Ripple.
That's just what I assumed. I didn't even know. Yeah.
Technically, it was around before it was associated with Ripple. So
that's true though. Yeah.
It's an argument against that. Some people think, what is it?
Well, there's like old ancient religious things with literally the XRP logo, XRP. So there's lots of
really.
There's esoteric stuff behind the name. Yeah.
I haven't seen that.
Interesting. I'll have to look into that.
But basically, the reason, if you think about it, a lot of people talk about XRP being connected to the gold. All precious metals, they have an X in front of it because the X makes it okay. No single nation owns it. It's called a supranational currency. So a lot of these chosen cryptos like XDC, XLM, XRP, they have an X in front of it because it's not like it's made in the United States, but it's not like it's USA. It's not like you find some gold in a mine in Utah. It's not Utah's gold. It's just gold. So
yeah,
no one country controls XRP. That's why they put an X in front of it. That's why there's an X in front of gold as well. It's a supranational currency is the meaning.
And we have 177 people watching right now. 717.
We've been consistent with that. We've been consistent the whole time.
Really quick, I don't see the email address in the chat. Did it? Maybe it's
booting it as spam or something.
Yeah. What is it? Can you just say it and I'll type it in?
Christine has it up. It's zenwarrior111@icloud.com.
Oh yeah, Christina Love got it. ZenWarrior111.
I see it. Okay.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so they put an X in front of it because basically it's going to be used the same as like gold and silver. It's going to be on the same category.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's the digital form of gold.
Yeah. So do you guys want to explain why?
Okay, I got the second winner. Winner.
Nice.
Cassandra Fileski, send me your XRP address.
Yay.
Good job, Cassandra.
Nice.
Cassandra.
Before we explain that, actually, people are asking how you even buy XRPs. A lot of people, this is foreign to them.
Well, the whole thing, it got delisted on most exchanges in the US. So there's only two, right? BitTrue and Uphold.
Yeah, there might be some other small, like I think Qcoin may work, but just generally for new people, uphold.com or the Uphold app is the best place to do it. And then if what you basically just sign up, normal account, email kind of stuff, and then it'll have you go through a regulatory compliance check called KYC, which is Know Your Customer. And that's just anywhere in America, they have to do this. And you basically have to send a picture of your ID and then your social, and then they'll do a quick background check, make sure you're not a, crazy person or something. And that you're fit to buy crypto. And then all you have to do is hook up either your bank or your debit card. On Uphold, they give you a max of $500 transaction a day via the debit card. You can do larger transactions via the bank, but be warned that if you do it via the bank, they lock your funds in there for like 2 or 3 months. So
it's like 65 days. I found that out.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, they're locked in. Yeah.
It basically just means that you can't send it to your private wallet, and you can't, I believe, swap it back.
You can't cash it out until then either, I believe. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, I didn't. That's good to know. I didn't know that.
If you use your bank.
Yeah.
But if you use a debit card, it's not as long. Yeah.
And the Uphold card is really cool too. That
is awesome.
The Uphold debit card lets you actually switch choose which currency which coin you want to pay with. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So if you want to purchase something at the gas station with XRP, you get on your phone and you choose XRP, or if you want to use Dogecoin or XLM or whatever.
So technically, you don't even need to ever cash out if you want to just, I mean, obviously, you pay bills with your bank or whatever.
Yeah.
But you could just use that debit card to pay for things and never have to ever cash out your crypto out of the exchange. And then you're saving in all that the taxes, I'm assuming, right? Or how does that work? Will it still be taxed even if you use it that way? That's what I was wondering.
That goes into more, intricate stuff with taxes. But I think that in that system of things, if you play with that system, they do, as soon as you make a purchase with it, they consider it selling it into cash.
Oh, okay.
And so
okay.
I think each transaction would be individually applicable to that.
But you won't get like the massive capital gains because the whole capital gains thing is like, my understanding, this is what I've heard. So if you, within a year, if you cash out, I don't know what the cutoff is or what, I think it's like $10,000 or more or whatever. Then you get hit with a massive, big like capital gains. But if you wait more, if you have held it for more than a year, then it's the long-term capital gains and it's like 20%.
Exactly.
It's a lot less.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
I think pretty close.
But if you're just using it, like the Uphold card, spinning your currency, I'm assuming it will be less than even that, right? Or you wouldn't get like massively.
Sure.
I don't know.
If everything plays out the way we think it's going to play out, like we won't even really have to worry about.
That's the key.
Yeah. That's what I'm hoping too. Yeah.
A lot of these illegal taxation is really theft. So
it's that. Yeah. It's the cabal's. Yeah.
Elise
systems
Brown.
The reason why they've been able to put all these systems because they control the monetary system. So in order for the white hats to really fulfill this plan, they have to have a new system, which in secret, that's basically what Space Force, Starlink, SpaceX, literally an X, come on. That's what they've been doing. They're building a new system so that way the old guard could go away. And like we say all the time, there's going to be a new 1%. New 1%, and there's going to be new leaders and new people. And that's what's happening right now. It's going to be the biggest wealth transfer in all time. Because all these people have literally soaked up, like the biggest sponge ever, soaked up all of the wealth in the world. The middle class used to be different. They used to thrive in America, and these people have soaked it all up through all these little taxes, all these little things, sending money across borders. They nickel and dime you for everything that adds up, and
the Federal Reserve and destroying the dollar, like it's completely like the dollar's worth like what 1/100th of what it should be or what it used to be.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
We just need to stay out of the way of the dinosaurs until they crash, and then we take over. I mean, you gotta get I'm serious. There's like a generation that needs to move on, that needs to transition. So before any of this stuff can really kick in, because there's old mindsets and there's programming there that's not going to change, and they're stuck in these old ways. And there's still people in denial, like within the deep state, who think that they actually still have a crying chance,
Yeah. That's why I think, go ahead.
Well, I just want to address something in the chat. A lot of people are saying, this is why I'm not into crypto. It's all the details, and somebody else is like, yeah, way too complicated, blah, blah. It's actually not that complicated. Yeah.
It's actually not.
If you're listening to this and you don't know about it, it sounds overwhelming. I agree, because we're throwing around terms and words and acronyms and stuff that you guys don't even know. And I'm still learning too. But it's not as complicated as we're making it sound. It's very simple to download the app and purchase it.
Yeah, and when you have your money in these assets, you own your value sovereignly, right? When your money's in the bank, when your money's in PayPal, when your money's in Cash App or Venmo or any of these centralized groups, stocks especially, they have the authority, basically, give or take the situation, to take your money away. And there was a situation with a woman recently who was running for Congress. I'm pretty sure that was Pro 17, where her Wells Fargo account completely locked her out and took all of her money. And they said that it was their right to basically seize her assets because they stored them with her. So with crypto, this is the first opportunity where we the people have the sovereign ability to hold our storage of value. And no one can take that from us, right? There's no centralized company or authority or anyone who could go in a back door and be like, I don't like you, so I'm going to take this.
Well, even the money that everybody thinks they own right now, if they try, if everybody who's a member at your bank goes to your bank in one day and tries to withdraw,
they don't
have it. They
have the money.
That's why the money is illusionary, because it's literally numbers on a computer screen, and you might as well call it numbers instead of money. Like, how many numbers do you have?
They just print it out of thin air, and then that's what fiat. It's just completely imaginary, and then just our belief that it has value is what we're giving it the value. But when you realize, like, they could just, not, and then especially digitally, like numbers in a computer, like they can just delete it or transfer it or do whatever,
there's nothing actually representing the storage of it. And that's where, like, people will ask, is crypto backed by anything? It's not, because it's all market value. It's not backed by the dollar, right? It's the market value of the demand, but it is essentially backed by the complex algorithms behind it. So it's unhackable, right? It's not something, at least, in our current technological levels, it's unhackable. Whereas, with the banking system, like you're saying, people can do that. Or if, with all these cyber attacks, it seems very likely, and they're even saying this in the media, that the next big cyber attack could be on the financial system, and say, someone, China or whoever, hacks into our banking system, whether it be the Fed or private banks, and they start changing all those numbers, then we're kind of screwed. Whereas with these cryptocurrencies, especially the projects that are really secure and, backed by basically probably military funding and things like that, they are unhackable, and it's the solution moving forward. And you brought up voting earlier. Like, that's another thing. Like, Ripple is working with MIT on this project called Votes, VOATZ, which they brought up in the Arizona hearings a couple months back as a solution for the voting system. So that's like another example of where blockchain is going to, like, change the way that we run our world in many ways.
You can't manipulate it. You can't, there's no more fraud, no more. At
least on the physical side of things, like, sure, you can have market manipulations and stuff, but we're also moving away from them
being able to do that. And
a few things, guys, Zach and Jayse. So somebody in the chat, are visuals available? That would help so much. No, but then Alexis said Jason Zen do sessions to help people sign up. And then Elise said, is there a crypto coloring book? But do you guys want to let people know how you guys might be able to help them sign up, or let them know your channel, Zach, so they can follow you and learn more about this, because that's what you do?
Yeah, I'll open it up to the people on this stream. I actually, you know how hard it is for me to plan this with you guys, so I'm very limited on my time. So I'll open it up for your audience only, but I do coaching sessions for crypto here and there. So if you want to do a coaching session, normally it's a $50 donation, just because I want to make sure that you're serious, and I don't want to waste my time with someone for free if they're not, like, they don't have skin in the game. So that's very minimum, and you basically get a phone call with me, and I work with you with getting started, and I'll do that just for your audience. So we'll keep that a secret between us. And then also we have the Telegram community. So join the Telegram community. There's tons of people in there that have been following me for a long time, and they support everybody. So it's kind of like, if you're new, that would be the best place to go, because you could ask questions, people will answer them. It won't be me, but like there's a whole support system there that will guide you and help you go down the right directions on which coins are going to be compliant in this new QFS. And so that's where I would recommend. I could text you the link or put it in here, but also I have a YouTube channel. So there's tons of videos on my YouTube page, and there is some tutorials on there for beginners. And then also just rabbit holes and tons of information on really awesome cryptos and how to make money and succeed.
Yeah, and that link for his channel and Jayce's channel are in the description. But if you want to send me the link, Zach, and to get a hold of you personally, I will put that in the description also for everyone who's not watching this live.
I'll tag it in there right now.
Okay. But I'll also add it to the description for the people who are watching the replay.
Cool.
And then Jayce, do you offer the same services, or do you just
pretty much the same
you
thing.
just have people like me call you and bother you? And then
Well, of course, I have friends and family reaching out all the time, but basically same thing. Like if people want to know the basics of how to get set up, like how to set up your exchange account so you can do your first purchase, how to transfer it, where to store your crypto, what the wallets are, and that kind of stuff. And then any other questions like about the space and, emphasis on Flare and XRP. Usually people have a lot they want to ask about that. So same kind of thing. I usually do like Zoom sessions. That way we can do like screen shares and you can show me on your end if you're having any issues. And if you want that, you can just reach out to me via email or wherever you know how to contact me. Perfect.
And then one last question. Can meme farming count as crypto mining?
There's probably going to be some kind of connection with that someday. I mean, NFTs is almost that, right? Almost.
Somebody wants to know why Zen's face has a hole. Is he an alien?
If I'm an alien, I said yes. I'm not an alien. I'm a time cop. So
time cop, yeah.
Nice.
I've already sent a few people some XRP. So check your. Let me know if you got the notification.
You're awesome, man. That is so cool.
Yeah, so cool of you.
Doing the Robin Hood
thank
movement.
you for that. One thing I did want to ask you guys before you get off, and from my understanding, it doesn't mean anything, but Elon Musk and his number is 69,420. Is that all is it just a joke? Like
69,420?
Because the Tesla stock was at 69,420. And then he also tweeted that they've reached a number of the strategic importance of Starlink satellites of 69,420. What is that number to you guys?
I've just been seeing him post the 69,420 thing for like about a year now, just as a meme of like, 69 and 420 and then putting them together. But he just brought it up like over and over. So I don't know if it's almost like it's a certain kind of white hat code maybe or something. There's a lot of these little coded numbers, especially, that have been making their way around, particularly in the kind of XRP crypto, Mr. Pool stuff. Like 589 is a big one.
Yeah.
The 11.3, 311 reversal from both 17 posts, and Mr. Pool posts a lot about that. So I don't know. I guess I'm gonna keep watching and seeing what comes of it. But I feel like it feels like a joke, but there's also something to it. I think.
That's kind of where I'm at on it. Yeah. I just had to ask because I don't know.
And I don't know if there's literally like 69,000 satellites. I'll have to look that up, because if there is, that would be really interesting. That's a lot.
That would.
And
that would, yeah.
What are your thoughts on Starlink potentially being a white hat operation?
100%.
Think so?
I think it is.
Because there's the one.
I think it is.
On one hand, you have Skynet, which is probably already in play right now, but people are saying that Starlink is going to be Skynet and it's going to like enslave us all and take over the grid.
Well, then we're on the negative timeline.
I think Skynet is what was already happening with the National Reconnaissance Office, the NRO.
I think
and
so.
then when space, because that's like what really woke me up too when I was in college and I was seeing all these NRO rocket launches. They're all classified. They're all like multi-school bus size stuff going up all the time. I'm like, they're making a space program up there. And then when, you know, T came in and Space Force was created, I really see Space Force and SpaceX as two different sides of the same coin. And I think Space Force was the military government side cleanup crew and oversight. And then SpaceX was intended to do the same thing, but in the private sector and steal the competition from the cabal private sector by actually innovating in ways that that industry had never innovated before. And then on that same level, I think Starlink is most likely a positive white hat thing. And one of the like energetic things I go to is like every time people see the Starlink satellites, at least here in Sedona, there's something magical about them. And maybe they're not Starlink, maybe there's something else, but they're calling it Starlink, and
well,
they
Starlink
sort of resemble it, but
Starlink is the new weather balloon. You know, every
right.
every
It's Starlink.
Everything is Starlink now.
Yeah, and that's way better than calling it a weather balloon. So who knows? You know, they never, whatever they're sending up there. We had somebody on. They said one time, I think it might even have been Corey Good, which he made a point. He's like, they never waste a launch. So he said, there's always a payload.
Yeah,
there's always something. So it's not, maybe it's not.
Yeah, he said they were sending payloads.
Yeah, and maybe it's not actually satellites. Maybe it is satellites, but they're being, you know, who knows? Obviously, this is working in tandem with the secret space program, but it's just like covert or overtly now.
Well, and part of the because you know people rag on SpaceX because they're still using rockets. Why are they still using rockets when we know we have the technology, you know, anti-gravity and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But to me it's like, because they're not ready to present that to the public yet. They have to do the show still, like, we just have rockets.
Still part of the dog and
still
pony
part of
show.
the show. But I do think, like you said, I do think SpaceX is a white hat.
Well, we have proof that it's white hat if you look up Founders Fund.
Oh yeah,
that's who funded SpaceX. And the rockets you're probably right. It's probably just a distraction because they have to give something to the public. Like, why is all this money going into SpaceX? You can't tell them they're secretly building a new quantum financial system behind closed doors. People would freak out. So,
you can't yet.
Go to Founders Fund's website. That's Peter Thiel's website. And Peter Thiel funded basically all of Tesla's Elon Musk projects. So Elon Musk is a frontman for Peter Thiel. And on Founders Fund website, we know it's white hat because they have plans to build the Tesla towers. Literally on the website, on their manifesto, you'll find on their website, not only tons of information about space travel and rockets and going like really advancing our nation's space technology. They say it's a joke compared to where we should be right now. Like what you're saying.
Yeah.
And also just really big on their manifesto. Go look at it. The Tesla Tower, they have full intention to bring these back. And that's how we know we're on the golden timeline because they're in full control. They control Palantir, they control SpaceX, everything, Space Force. So we're good. We're good.
Well, do you guys have you heard Ryan from Our Cloaked Unseen World and his theory on the water towers and Tesla towers? It's actually compelling. So he took a patent for a Tesla tower and compared it to a patent for a water tower, and they're literally identical.
They look
like and
very similar.
So much identical to where you start looking at the water tower and you're like, what do they need all this stuff? There's like extra stuff in the water tower that wouldn't need to be there. And he thinks that all these water towers have been Tesla towers the entire time.
And
then they're just
they're using that, but then they're charging us.
Then they're charging us
for the energy.
Yeah, like the electric, like the power lines are the dog and pony show for that. Like it's I don't actually know, or maybe the power lines are actually being powered by the Tesla towers, and
that's what I was getting from that.
Yeah.
Like that's where ultimately the power is coming from, but
that's trippy.
And they're just charging us for nothing, they're
for no
charging
reason.
us for no reason.
I mean, they are still for no reason.
Yeah, but
that would really be like a slap in the face.
He actually, I mean, when you listen to him break it down, it's very compelling, and it does make you stop and look at it and like, wait a second, like there might be something here,
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
But if that's the case, then all they would have to, all these Tesla towers would already be in place, and they just have to flip a switch.
Or all they'd have to do is just quit sending us electric bills.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But I mean, like we could like have technology that could like directly power, it's our system's already all there without having to start building a bunch of Tesla towers or whatever.
Like, and it might be a water tower, but it doubles as a Tesla tower.
Yeah. Maybe it doubles. Yeah.
So real quick to go back to Peter Thiel, just to kind of wrap up all that stuff. I feel like Peter Thiel's kind of like the centerpiece of like bridging all these different awakening, disclosure, white hat worlds together. So he was, like Zach said, he was primary investor in SpaceX, Tesla. He was also the first outside investor in Facebook, and actually still sits on the board of Facebook today, which to me on the surface may look like, cabal, but to me it's a patriots in control.
A lot of people forget that they credit Facebook for Trump's they say that the reason Trump won because of his marketing on Facebook. They said that's why he won, and that's why they literally changed everything after 2016 election, and Facebook's never been the same. Changed the whole algorithm after that, and they said that they vowed to never let it happen again. And who was the Peter Thiel had his name all over that. And go ahead, Jay. Sorry.
And to go off what you're saying, you were telling me, I think, Zach, something about the Cambridge Analytica scandal, that was actually a white hat organization, and that was the cabal trying to throw them under the bus in a way.
I don't know if it was a white hat organization, but Palantir, that's the link, because the Palantir was observing Cambridge's data, and Cambridge was Facebook. So that was the link. And AOC, Alexander Cortez, kept grilling Mark Zuckerberg about Palantir. What's your relationship with Palantir? She kept asking about it. She was concerned. And she's the agent for George Soros. And George Soros dumped, you'll type it in, George Soros Palantir, you'll see that he dumped and offloaded all of his Palantir holdings because of business ethics.
Yeah.
So basically
they're terrified.
I do.
It's like in chess. In chess, it's like you basically they're acting as a Trojan horse. They're allowing these people to make the first move, and they're playing black. They get the second mover's advantage to basically, okay, we know your plan. We know how to stop it at the end game, and that's what the Palantir people are doing with Peter Thiel. Peter Thiel is actually an agent for something a lot bigger, but I'm not going to talk too much about that. But he's a really positive guy, and he is just listen to it. He has tons of lectures on the internet, and a lot of people after listening to him like, wow, he's a really smart guy, and he's intelligent, and he really speaks "Make America Great Again," like that whole. He really just wants to bring innovation back. Same thing that Trump wants to do, and make us an amazing, beautiful country. Like Trump's building these amazing buildings. Like, have you seen the golden building that the Palm Tower in Saudi Arabia? Have you seen it?
I don't know if I have.
Is that the one in Dubai?
Maybe it's in Dubai, but it's literally like this golden tower. And then also there's one on the water that's in the shape of a palm tree that. So in Saudi Arabia and in Dubai, they're building these amazing innovating way more than us. And you come to America, we have these like same airplanes that we always been in. It takes the same amount of speed to get from LA to New York. Nothing's innovating because these control lords are controlling all the money, controlling all the monopoly, and
intentional.
That's why Trump, Peter Thiel, the white hats are trying to create a level playing field again, so that way we could innovate and people could be happy to go to work and be a part of something bigger than them, because that's what happened in the 50s. There was so much, like space innovation was a lot more. Everything was innovation was going at a whole nother level back then. Like,
well, you want to go even deeper than that. It's like,
I don't know shit about space. I just know your audience does. So I just don't know.
But the thing about the innovation, with the free energy technology that we know we have that's being held from us, like, and you look at you can research that and how it they just at every turn squash that down and try to hide it, and but we know it's there. Like we have the technology, it just has to be released to humanity, and then like we don't need to be paying to live anymore. And then we can travel like that. We can
Yeah.
the possibilities
they call it the Peter Thiel calls it the tyranny of distance. He literally calls it's literally tyranny that it takes this long to go see your family member.
Yeah. You know what's interesting? You're talking
Yeah,
about those
sure.
Dubai towers.
I wish we could pull them up. Pull up on my phone.
You could if
Yeah, pull it up on your phone.
the Dubai towers.
Yeah, on Zach's phone. I think he's got it.
Or Jayse, you can share screen too if you want to pull them up.
See if I can find it.
Oh wow.
Oh, that. Okay.
Yeah.
I have seen that actually.
Jayse, pull that up.
Okay.
You should be able to share your screen. No, but what's interesting about
that's amazing.
Skyscrapers, I was listening to something one time and it was explaining how skyscrapers are like the mark of the beast, right? They represent a class system, and the upper.
Oh wow.
Where's that one located?
This is the Palm International Center.
But anyway,
in
they
Dubai.
said that when the skyscrapers are gone, will be the deep state will be gone, basically, because there's no reason to build a skyscraper. There's plenty of room for all of us, and
we don't need to all be
stacked
on top in these cities. Like
Jay, show them this palm tree one.
Can you guys see?
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah,
these are like those crystal structures I used to see in like ancient times.
Like they're very Atlantean.
Yeah, we're rebuilding the new Atlantis, basically.
So is this one actually being built by Trump? This golden, it does say Palm Trump International Hotel. Wow.
Look at this one, the one where they're on the water. It's called Dubai Island.
Yeah, I've seen
It's
that.
a palm tree in the island.
Yeah. The Palm Tree Island's been around for I think maybe like a decade now. But they're having all sorts of issues with it because they're like, they're man-made because they're basically like pumping the sand into these fake islands.
Yeah.
And so the islands are having all these issues with like sea erosion and like people's houses basically starting to fall into the ocean.
Well, they're not meant to stand the test of time. They're meant to make money,
Right.
But
who do all these people connect to that we're talking big? All Trump's uncle is connected to Tesla. So like a lot of this Tesla technology is going to be coming released soon. So I'm just happy that they're trying to innovate. Maybe the whole Palm thing failed, but at least they tried something new and they innovated. And sometimes innovation results in failures, but we got to try new things, I'm really hoping we get new planes because I'm 6'4".
Oh, dude, the planes
riding in these planes suck, man.
That's by design. Like that, I have an entire.
We're gonna have anti-gravity craft.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get those anti-gravity ships and
obsolete.
Just pull up.
Well, no, I think like that.
Yeah.
That is a very like the whole airport plane system is all negative.
Mhm.
There's no doubt in my mind. But what I was getting to finish my thought on the skyscrapers. Like if you think about it, there's no reason to stack us up. We all should be living on the earth. They did that intentionally. So when everybody and now you have a Wi-Fi signal on top of like all these Wi-Fi routers.
You're like sandwiched in.
It creates this chaotic frequency, this energy to where your blood is basically going to boil.
You can feel it, man. Serious. You can
your
feel
blood
it.
is basically going to boil. And each person, each individual has an energy field. And we're not supposed to be like stacked like that. So, and then also the skyscraper is to represent the class system. And that's something we want to do away with. You have the middle class and then you have the penthouse or the VIP suite that you can only get to if you have money or if you're an athlete or somebody, a celebrity. And then you have the basement where nobody wants to go. And it's just a representation of our society. So I feel like
the control system.
It's of the control system. Yeah.
Totally.
So if we can get eventually move away from the skyscrapers and we can utilize this planet without having to be crammed into these cities so they can siphon our energy.
Yeah, we'll be able to live where we want to live closer to nature.
Yeah.
Live in harmony with nature.
And that's what Peter Thiel also has been talking about for the past 10 years. He said big cities are going to be a bubble. He also said the education is in a bubble and Eventually, people want to think for themselves, and everything that he's been talking about for the past actually 20 years is happening now. So lots of people are moving out of big cities and moving into, like you said, like people like Idaho and inland. And a lot of people are choosing not to go to college. So these are all things that he said would happen because people are starting to think for themselves. So that's more proof. Like, we don't have to just look at conspiracies to understand that we are in a great awakening. You could look at certain stats around the world. Well, like, I think that's pretty big that finally people are breaking from the programming that you have to go to college, and people are like, oh, I have other options. So I think that's pretty big.
Yeah, college is a trap.
Well, it's an indoctrination.
Yeah.
Especially, yes.
100%.
Especially, yeah, some of them are bad.
I
I lost a family member to their indoctrination.
Really?
Went full BLM on me.
Oh, no.
What are you going to say, Jace?
I was just going to say, can you guys see this pic right now? Look how much
Yeah.
they love each other.
Yeah, look at that.
Best friends.
He knows. Look at Peter, just looking at him like, you guys are done.
Yeah.
Yep, he knows.
Look at him walking out of the meeting, the first meeting when Trump first won. When he walks out of that meeting, he looks like he has like the eye of the tiger.
Well, you think about like if Trump really has like this
Trump Tower. This is back when Trump was living at a Trump Tower. He didn't even go because they had to clean out the White House because they had all the bugs. Yeah, this one right here, the bottom one, no down bottom, right there.
Oh, I see.
Below the other one's clear. Below your mouth, yeah, click that one. Look at him walk out of there. He's on a mission right there.
Yeah, he's definitely on a mission. Everything is so golden too.
Yeah, the golden timeline right there. There they are. That was back when he was running all the meetings. Kanye West went and met him too.
Right.
He was running all the meetings out of Trump Tower because the White House was all bugged and there was all this chaos going on.
I wonder what Peter Thiel's astrology sun sign is. If he's a Gemini like Trump and Kanye and all those guys, or maybe he's a little more grounded. He might be like an Earth sign.
Someone says college is a total ripoff. Well, I mean, think about it, and then not everyone's education is worthless. Like there's things to take
there's
from
still,
it.
There's still.
But if you think about like
for it, but
like by the time you finish school and pay off your student loans, like how old are you? 50?
Oh
yeah,
you know what I'm saying. And then at what point are you ever ahead?
Slave system,
you might as well have not went to college and got a job making less money and never been in debt.
Exactly.
You know?
It's like you worked the job to pay off the debt that you got.
And then now,
so you could work the job.
And then now your life is over. Yeah. And now you're programmed with all this information that might not even be factual.
The only value is really just like the networking and the connections you could make. Other than that, like there's not much, unless you're going in for like a really like niche. Like if you want to become like a lawyer, then you have to go to school, you know? So
yeah.
I was watching a Peter Thiel interview and he was talking about how engineering, and particularly aerospace engineering, which is what I went into, was like the dumbest field to basically get into over the past 30 years because of it's basically like a sham. Like the whole engineering field, especially aero, is a sham. And, you know, the technology drive hasn't been there. We really haven't been innovating. And I was like, damn, you are so right about that. You called me out.
Yeah, but you have that under your belt though. That was a good experience to actually, and you utilized it in your awakening because it actually helped you see things for what they were. And you got to witness some launches that you would have not have otherwise got to witness. So there was some good things.
Yeah, I don't regret it at all. I think everything for all of our paths is like 100% what we need to get where we need to go.
Yeah, I went to college, dropped out, but it helped me get to where I am. So I don't regret it at all.
No, and
me too.
I'm not trying to say anybody listening, if you went to college, like you're an idiot. Nobody.
Yeah,
first
we shouldn't regret anything for one. Everything
back in the day, college was pretty legit at one point. So it wasn't always like how it is now. Now it's just straight up indoctrination camps.
Also that, it's just nuts now.
Well, I'll tell you a story. So this is when I realized that I was actually being indoctrinated, because when I was in sociology class, and this guy was very charismatic. Like he convinced me that Marxism, that I was young, like he was like talking about Marxism and he was like, this is a really good form of government. And then I was already a conspiracy theorist, but I never heard that name before. And I started to believe, I was like, oh, this is awesome. I came home and I started looking into it myself. they're like, holy shit, this is they're teaching this in school,
Yeah.
Yeah.
for real, and convincing people. No shame, no nothing. He was teaching straight up Marxism and
Oh
sociology.
yeah.
And
they
he's so
don't hide it at
charismatic
all.
the way he did it. So charismatic. So it's for real. It's
And the percentage
don't
of
send
people,
them to go those schools.
and the percentage of people that went home and actually researched it like you did, probably you may have been the only one,
Very, very few. Yeah.
Especially, if it's just a class, you just need that credit to graduate. Some people don't even care about these classes, but they're forced to take them. And then at that point, it truly is indoctrination, because now you're just like a slave. We've been going for quite a while, so we're going to start wrapping this up. Thank you guys for coming on and doing this. It's been a lot of fun. We covered everything. It's been great.
Yeah.
Guys, don't forget to
amazing.
grab a ticket to the Great Family of Light Gathering, July 23rd through the 25th, Sedona, Arizona, put on by Jayse and Alexis. Divine Sovereign Beings used to be my favorite podcast until they quit doing it.
We're gonna start again. Too many people have been like, "Where are the podcasts?" So
They were fun.
They were so good.
It was fun watching you guys bounce off each other.
yeah, it'll come back.
Yeah.
Yay.
And anyway, any last words you guys want to say before we wrap this up?
Well, for Family of Light, we have a special discount going right now for people watching, just for today and tomorrow. You can go check the website, but there's a significant discount, about 20% off on the passes for both the 3-day and the live stream. So hope to see you there in Sedona. And if not, hope to see you on the live stream, and you can still join in on the fun and the magic.
And that link is in the description right at the very top. You can't miss it. Zach, any last words from you, brother?
Yeah, I'll say enjoy the XRP to the lucky winners that won tonight, and join my Telegram if you want some more of this XRP info, if you liked what I had to say. And I look forward to shaking your guys' hands in a few weeks.
Yeah, it's
Same.
It's gonna be amazing.
Yeah, can't wait.
Yeah, thank you for putting this thing on, Jayse. It's yeah.
It was so dope to get all of us together. I knew it had to happen.
Yeah.
It'll be my first time in Sedona also.
Oh,
Never
that's
been.
epic.
Yeah, I'm
Awesome.
excited.
Yeah, and then just prior to that is ESETI, which I'm looking forward to. I'm getting the opportunity to speak there and tell some of my story that I've never told before, and share some experiences that I think a lot of people need to hear. Well, I didn't think they needed to hear them, but I kept getting the message like, you need to be sharing this stuff. So I'm excited to get a chance to do that. And then obviously Aaron's going to be there, and we're going to be going live probably Thursday night from ESETI. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you, Diane Rain. Thank you for the $20. Shout out to
Diane.
Rittner School District in St. Louis County, class of 82. Nice, local.
I know Rittner.
Yeah. I wasn't even born yet. So thank you for tuning in.
Neither of us were.
Yeah.
None of us here were.
Looks
Anyway.
like Angelito got his XRP, and I think Cassandra did too. She says she love my XRP, she says.
Yes. All right, guys. Thank you so much for the donations. Thanks, Jayse. Thanks, Zach, for coming on doing
Thank
this.
you guys
It's
so
been a
much
lot
for
of fun.
coming on. You guys are amazing.
Guys.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, we'll be
Yeah.
back next week on Thursday night, regularly scheduled show. Stay tuned for that. See you guys later, and have a great night.
Peace out, everyone.